Ever notice those small fees on your bank statement? The ones that don't seem like much, but over time add up to a lot? Well, here's the truth. Small fees can quietly drain your money. Whether it's a few dollars here or a couple of bucks there, these hidden fees don't always stand out, but they definitely add up. And over time, it's like they're just slowly siphoning off your cash without you even realizing it. In this video, we're diving into the top 8 hidden banking fees that quietly drain your money and how you can avoid them. Let's get started. 1. Monthly maintenance fees. Let's kick things off with monthly maintenance fees. This is one of the most common fees banks charge you, just for keeping your account open. These fees range anywhere from $5 to $15 a month, but don't be fooled by their small size. Over a year, that's anywhere from $60 to $180 just for the privilege of having a bank account. And here's the kicker. These fees often change quietly. You might meet the requirements one year, only to find out the next year that the bank has increased the minimum balance or changed the conditions. So, you're stuck paying fees that you didn't even know existed. Banks can also raise the minimum balance requirements for waiving this fee, or they may impose it for services you didn't even ask for. You could be paying for a premium account that you didn't realize you needed or wanted. These fees are often buried deep in the fine print, and most people don't think twice about them. How to avoid it? Easy. Look for digital-first banks that offer no-fee accounts, or simply make sure you meet the direct deposit or minimum balance requirements. 2. Out-of-network ATM fees. Next, let's talk about out-of-network ATM fees. We've all been there, needing cash, finding an ATM nearby, and withdrawing money. But what you might not realize is that you're getting hit with 2 fees. One from the ATM operator, the convenience fee, and one from your bank for processing the transaction. A $20 withdrawal can suddenly cost you $27 after both fees are applied. That's a 35% increase on your transaction. If you're regularly using out-of-network ATMs, those small fees can add up fast, especially if you make multiple withdrawals every month. These fees are one of the most annoying because they often feel unavoidable in moments of urgency. You're not going to drive across town to find your bank's ATM when you just need cash quickly, but it's exactly in those moments when the fees catch you off guard. How to avoid it? Simple. Use your bank's app to find in-network ATMs, or choose a bank that reimburses ATM fees up to a certain limit. It's that easy. Free. Inactivity dormancy fees. Now, this one might surprise you. Inactivity fees, also known as dormancy fees. If you have an old savings account or an emergency fund that you rarely use, your bank might start charging you a fee if you don't make a transaction for 6 to 12 months. And if you let the account sit untouched for too long, the bank might turn over your remaining balance to the state as unclaimed property. Yes, the money you thought was safe could be taken away. This is particularly common with accounts that have a low balance and are not actively managed. Dormancy fees are sneaky because you don't realize they're eating away at your balance until you check your account months or years later. You might not notice a charge in the short term, but over time, it quietly erodes your savings. If you forgot about the account altogether, you may even lose the funds entirely to the state. How to avoid it? Set up a small, automatic recurring transfer or make a tiny purchase every few months. That way, the account stays active and the fees stay away. 4. Paper statement fees. In our digital world, why do banks still charge for paper statements? Well, it's a way for banks to save money on printing and mailing costs. But for you, it's just another small fee. These charges are usually around $2 to $5 a month, which doesn't seem like much, but again, it adds up. In many cases, people aren't even aware they are being charged for paper statements. These fees can slip through the cracks because they appear under less obvious terms. The bank may also have you automatically enrolled in paper statements unless you change your preferences, and most people never realize they have that option. You might not think it's a big deal, but at the end of the year, that $3 paper statement fee adds up to $36, which is money you could be using elsewhere. Plus, receiving a paper statement is often unnecessary since you can access the same information online anytime. How to avoid it? Just switch to e-statements. You can easily change this setting in your bank's online portal. You'll save money and also help the planet by going paperless. 5. Overdraft protection fees. Here's a tricky one. Overdraft protection fees. Overdraft protection sounds helpful, right? It prevents your card from being declined when you don't have enough money in your checking account. But many banks charge you a fee, usually around $10 to $12, to move money from your savings to cover that shortfall. While this is cheaper than a regular overdraft fee, it's still an unnecessary charge. Plus, many banks may only cover part of the transaction, leaving you with additional fees for the remaining amount. It's a cycle that can quickly spiral if you're not careful with your account balance. The real trap is that many people mistakenly think overdraft protection is free. They assume they have a safety net, but in reality, they're just paying extra for a service they don't always need. The worst part? If you rely on it too often, it can eat up your savings. How to avoid it? Set up low balance alerts on your phone so you can manually move money if needed for free. 6. Foreign transaction fees. If you travel or shop online from international retailers, foreign transaction fees could be quietly eating into your purchases. These fees usually range from 1% to 3% on every transaction. And here's the sneaky part. Even if you're shopping from home and buying from an overseas website, you might still get hit with this fee. You might think these fees are only an issue when you're traveling, but you could be paying them without ever leaving your couch. Websites from overseas, whether at a tech store, a clothing brand, or a niche market, can trigger these foreign transaction fees, and your bank doesn't care where you're buying from. How to avoid it? Use a credit or debit card that offers no foreign transaction fees. Many cards now offer this perk, so shop around and find the right one for you. 7. Human teller fees. In a world where everything is going digital, human teller fees are becoming more common. Some banks charge you if you visit a branch and speak to a teller for a transaction you could have done at an ATM or online. It sounds a bit unfair, right? But the reality is that banks now want you to do everything yourself to cut down on costs. How to avoid it? Stick to using ATMs and mobile check deposits unless you really need to visit a branch. It'll save you time and money. 8. Early account closure fees. Finally, if you decide to switch banks and close your account too soon, some banks charge you an early account closure fee. This fee is usually between $25 to $50 if you close your account within 90 to 180 days of opening it. It's like the bank's way of making sure they recoup the costs they spent on signing you up. The bank invests time and resources into setting up your account, so they may charge you for leaving too soon. It's another exit tax that can catch people by surprise. The trap is that many people don't realize these fees until they try to switch banks, thinking it's simple to close an account. To avoid this fee, wait at least 6 months before closing your account, so you can switch without losing money. So, there you have it, 8 sneaky banking fees that could be quietly draining your money. The key to avoiding these fees is awareness. The more you understand where these fees hide, the more you can stop them from slipping through the cracks. Remember, every dollar counts. By keeping an eye on these small fees, you're giving yourself more control over your financial future. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share it with someone who could use a money-saving tip, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical financial advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.